I'm about to pull back the curtains and share with you every single thing I know about cold calling and booking appointments that I use for my own agency, my own, not someone else's, my own agency, to book over 30 appointments a week. And here's the proof, okay? Here's my calendar from an agency I ran back in 2023, which, as you can see, is pretty packed. And some other weeks, weren't as good, but typically we're booking over 30 appointments per week with this cold calling team. So, that being said, I want to share one thing. I want to make a disclaimer. This video will be boring. Why? Because I haven't sat here and planned it out. I haven't sat here and talked about how to gain your retention so that you watch longer, so I make the YouTube algorithm happy. No, I'm going to sit here and just spit facts off the top of my head. So it will be a bit boring. Okay, so if you're looking for some animated, get rich quick scheme, stupid bullshit that you probably watch all the time, click off. This won't be for you. But for those of you that actually want to understand cold calling and building a cold calling team and booking appointments on a really, really, really deep level, this will be the video for you. Okay? So bear with me. My brain's gonna go all over the place, but I'm gonna hopefully tie it all together to make sure I give you the most valuable possible, most value possible. I'm gonna talk everything. Like, I don't care what it is. In this video, I'm going to share everything, okay? From how to cold call, to how to set it up, to how to write your scripts, to how to get people to convert, to why your cold calling may not work, to everything else under the sun, how to build a cold calling team, you name it, I'm going to give it to you. So, without further ado, I guess let's dive in. And once again, here's the proof. This works, okay? And this is not only working back in the days for the people I partner up with now, it's working incredibly well. Okay, actually, I will even show you some of those results. Here's some of the results for the people I'm partnering up with now that are using this exact same system. Just to prove, just to make sure you know it works. So Tyler went from 0 to 6 appointments a day in a week of using this. Jake sent 5 commission clients from scratch. Sam and Cade closed their first client in 3 days. Chris went from 3K to 10K. Welcher made 9K in 14 days. Josh, from being lost and confused, closed 2.5K in 3 days and closed, I think, 2 or 3 other clients after that. Vache, 1.8K PIF in 3 days. I think you get the point. I can keep showing Geo, 8K in 11 days max, book 6 appointments in 24 hours with this method. This method works, and everything I share with you today will work. Alrighty? So, let's dive in. Okay? Cold calling, fundamentally, and here's where we're going to give some sauce right away. Cold calling is just a Facebook ad. And what I mean by this is fundamentally a Facebook ad is something that you put in front of somebody that they weren't asking for, and you hope that what you put in front of them they like. Cold calling is the same. You call them out of the blue. They have no idea that you're going to call. They have no idea what you're doing. And your goal is you're going to present them with an offer good enough that they will then say yes to talk with you further. Now, let me make something clear. The purpose of the cold call isn't to sell them. It isn't to pitch them. It isn't to get their money. It is simply to book an appointment to talk more. That's it. That is the only point of a conversation. And I know this sounds simple, but a lot of people forget this when they're actually on the call. So I want you to remember, when you're cold calling, your only goal is to book an appointment, to take some time on their calendar, to share more about what you do, and nothing else. Remember that, because it changes the perspective on cold calling from, oh, I'm trying to sell this person, to I just want time with them to give them more information, which is actually way easier to sell. And if you remember that, you'll book more appointments just with that mindset shift right there. Okay? So cold calling is a Facebook ad. It is you putting an offer in front of somebody that they did not ask for. As simple as that. Which makes something very obvious. There's 2 things that are the most important when it comes to cold calling. This is your opener, and this is your offer, /pitch, /value proposition, whatever. And as a matter of fact, let me kind of break down how I view cold calling, the cold calling structure process, like how I actually create my scripts. So my scripts are created like this. I create an opener, then I create the offer, which is just the pitch or the value proposition. Okay, call it what you will, it doesn't matter. And then objections, and then close. And by close, I mean meeting booked. Okay, this is it. This is the structure of every single one of my cold calls. It's super simple. You'll notice I don't probe. You'll notice there's no questions. Now, why is that? Well, I'll tell you why. It's impossible to ask somebody questions about, 1, when you don't know anything about them, okay? And 2, when they're not interested. Let me ask you a question. On a Facebook ad, okay, does the person in the qualifying form ask them what they're using now to get leads, how it's going, what they like about it, what don't they like about it, how it makes them feel, how long they've been struggling with that, and everything in between and under the sun? No. Why? Because that creates way too much friction for someone who doesn't even know about what we do yet. Those are questions we ask later when the prospect is aware about what we do and can understand a bit more and give a bit more information. In the beginning, we just want to get them interested. And tell you what, you get people interested by telling them something they want to hear, aka making them an offer. Which is why if right now you are cold calling by asking a bunch of questions using this Jeremy Miner stuff, which don't get me wrong, Jeremy Miner is amazing, but a lot of people have taken this too far and don't understand the concept of Jeremy Miner selling, and therefore they try and apply it to cold calling, but they don't understand that that stuff doesn't really work because it goes against human psychology, right? If you get a phone call at the blue and the guy starts asking you a question, like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, why are you asking me questions? You're the one calling me. Tell me what you want. Why are you calling? Right? That's what everyone's thinking when you call them is, why are you calling me? And if you can't explain that to them, they're going to hang up. Okay? So you have to understand this, that this is the only way that cold calls work. It's with an opener, with an offer, handling objections, and then closing, which is booking the appointments. You're not closing, you're just booking the appointments, and the whole purpose of the appointment is to then talk further, to discuss further. But you'll notice with this, there's one thing that's very important, and that is this. If your offer sucks, if your pitch sucks, if your value proposition is not good, you will not book appointments. It's that simple. And so this is why one of the biggest things you need to practice in cold calling and make sure you have down is your messaging. So actually, I'll go over to the cold calling flywheel, which I created. This is a flywheel I created for cold calling and how to progress and how to get good, etc. There's only 3 components of the flywheel, which is your message, your dials, which is your inputs, and your data. And so how this flywheel works is very simple. You go out there and you create a message. Okay, which is your offer essentially. With that message, you go and call people. When you call people, you're going to get data. And that data is going to tell you what you need to tweak in your message. You go then tweak the message and you go back to calling. And this flywheel goes on forever and ever and ever. It's very much the same as a Facebook ad, right? With a Facebook ad, for example, you make your ad, okay? You publish your ad gets data, and you tweak your ad. It's the exact same, right? You spend money on ads. It's very simple. It's this very simple flywheel. If you have a message, you make dials, you collect data, you tweak the message. And the message is the offer. And I would also argue the opener, right? The 2 most important things about cold calls is your opener and your offer. Because these are the 2 things that will dictate whether or not someone will book. Because based on your opener will dictate whether or not they will even listen to your offer. And based on your offer will dictate whether or not they will then book a meeting with you. And this is why cold calling online has been made very complicated when it shouldn't be. Cold calling fundamentally should be so simple. It should be you calling them, letting them know, answering 3 questions for them. Who you are, why you're calling, and what you want. Which is why some of the best cold calls I've seen with the people I partner with is when people cold call and say, hey man, my name's Stefan. I'm here from so-and-so company. Okay? Reason I'm calling is we work with some guys in the area to help them get an extra few jobs. I just wanted to see if I could take some time on your calendar to share a bit more about what you do so you have all the information as well. It's as simple as that. He's not asking to buy. He's not asking to close. He's not asking for a lot. He's just being like, hey, here's who I am. Here's why I'm calling. Here's the deal. And guess what? There's something else I've learned about cold calling. Not every person you call is going to say yes. The same way that everyone that sees your ad, not everyone that sees your ad is going to opt in. Why? It's the nature of the market. If everyone said yes to you, then we would have a very weird market that wouldn't work. We'd have a weird market dynamic. That wouldn't even work out, right? So not everyone will say yes, which is why the point with our offer isn't for everyone to say yes. Like, that's not even realistic for everyone to say yes. And so people are going to say no when we say it, which is fine because they're not even going to buy right now anyways. And so we just want to make sure our offer is good that the people who need it, when they hear it, say yes. That's the goal. And which means you will get no's, and that's fine. The same way that on Facebook ads, not everyone converts, right? Not everyone that watches clicks the link, and not everyone that clicks the link goes on the landing page and books a call. And not everyone that books a call buys. It's how the market works. And so we need to make sure we get rid of the expectation. Okay? Anyways, I want to back up and go in on this objection thing again, or this question thing. A lot of people ask way too many questions on the cold call and get away from the purpose of the cold call. Once again, what is the purpose of the cold call? Write it down. Write it in the comments. What is the purpose of the cold call? Booking the meeting. That's it. Booking the meeting to share more information. That's it. And a lot of people ask so many questions. Next thing you know, they've been on the phone for 10 minutes, right, asking discovery questions, and then the prospect is like, I'm busy, I gotta go, and they hang up. And you've been on the phone for 10 minutes, and you didn't even get to mention or pitch the reason what you're calling for or what you want. You spoke to this prospect for 10, 20 minutes. After 10, 20 minutes, they hung up, and you didn't even get to mention or offer the whole reason why you called. I see this all the time. People are on the phone for 5, 10, 15 minutes. The person hangs up, and they didn't even get to mention why they wanted to call, what they were calling for in the first place. They didn't even get to offer them the call. Think about that. You spent 15 minutes on the phone, And you didn't even get to make the person the offer for the whole reason why you're calling, which is, once again, to book the meeting. That's it, is to book the meeting. And you didn't even get to it because you wasted time trying to ask questions to create artificial demand. When we are cold calling, there's this idea called push and pull selling, which is, there's two different dynamics of selling, which is pull selling, which is someone coming to you and you kind of ask them questions and lure them in, and push selling, when you're going to someone getting them, right? It's like the hunter versus the farmer. Cold calling by nature is push selling. You can't sit there and start asking questions and creating artificial demand. The person is like, who are you? Why are you calling me? You're the one on the back foot. You're the one that has to make a compelling enough pitch and offer to get the person to say yes. It's on you. It's not on them, which is why you can't ask questions. Or you can, but you can only ask questions once they're interested, because no one will answer questions when they're uninterested. It's like if you're going on a date with a girl. If the girl doesn't like you, if you keep asking her questions and talking to her, she's not going to talk to you. She's going to walk away. She's going to be like, fuck off, whatever the case is, right? Or if you're on Snapchat, she's going to ignore you. She's going to leave you on red, right? If she likes you, then she'll answer your questions. Then she'll text you back. But you can't text a girl that doesn't like you, because she's not going to text you back. Right now, if you text Ariana Grande, she ain't text you back, brother. I'm sorry. She'll text me back, but she won't text you back. Right? But a girl won't text you back if they don't have interest in you. And it's the same with prospects. They won't answer your questions if they don't have interest in your offer. And here's the thing. A lot of people try and ask questions before they make the offer. And so why would the person ever answer your questions in the first place when you didn't even make them an offer for them to be interested in? Okay? Understand that. Anyways. Now, I hope, if you're with me, bro, you're getting so much value right now. Okay? But that's some real deep level stuff into cold calling psychology, and why a lot of people are so bad at cold calling is because they don't even understand cold calling. They don't even understand what the point is. They nilly-willy run around stealing scripts from Jeremy Miner and Alex Ramosi and Bill Walsh and whatever the case is, and try and cold call and wonder why it doesn't work. It's because they don't understand the context of which these people are using the scripts and asking the questions in. Okay? Cool? Anyways, let's kind of dive in. I hope, if you don't understand this, go back and rewatch this, because this is so important. If you can understand this, man, you'll be crushing it. You'll be absolutely, you will be able to be one of the best cold callers in the world. And cold calling is one of the best mechanisms to scale an agency. As a matter of fact, it is the best. I have a whole video on this, but you can go watch my SMMA tier list video and understand why, but just take my word for it, okay? Anyways, let's go back to cold calling. There's 5 things you need to start cold calling. So I'm going to touch a little bit in case you're a bit lost on how to even start cold calling. In order to start cold calling, you need 5 things, which number 1, you need a dialer. Okay, if you're going to ask you what dialer to use, you can literally just use your phone. Pick up your phone and start calling. If you want to get really nitty-gritty into it, use close.com, close.io, same thing. That's a really good dialer. Okay, second thing is you need a script. Now, I'm not a big advocate for scripts because, once again, every cold call is different. And a cold call is just a conversation. And a conversation is 2 ways. And the thing is, you can't plan on a script what the other person is going to say back to what you say, which is why scripts don't work very well. So, the only thing I like to script out in my actual cold calls is 2 things, which is, once again, the 2 most important things I want to collect data on, which is my opener and my offer. These 2 things. So I will script my opener and my offer because, once again, I want to take control of that first minute of the conversation. And, once again, I know what they're going to say, right? And I've tested my openers to know the exact data and exactly what to say. Right? So if right now, if you're cold calling and perhaps you're struggling and you want some help, click the link below. You can apply to partner with me, and I will help you not only help you become the best cold caller, but once you do, I'll help you also build your own cold calling team to book meetings for you. Okay? And I'll even give you all my scripts, openers, offers that are working incredibly well right now. Right? Anyways, back to business, if you will. The 2 things to script out is opener and offer. Right? And these are the things that simultaneously are the things we track the most in our data as well, because that's what we're going to be tweaking all the time. Is our openers and our offers, openers, offer. Because, once again, we can't track the data on what the person's reply is to the 3rd question they ask you can't track the stuff below here. You just can't. You don't know what they're going to say. It's impossible, right? Which is why the 2 things we care about is opener, offer, because that's the stuff we can track data on, because we get to actually make sure we get to say those things. Alrighty? So that is how I create my script, and what I'm looking for when I'm creating my scripts is just my opener and my offer. Opener, offer, opener, offer. I'll tell you actually some more value here. With the opener, I want to do 2 things and 2 things only. Okay? Or actually 3 things. Okay? I want to do 3 things. Thing number 1 I want to do with an opener is let them know who I am. I want to let them know why I'm calling. Okay? and I want to make them laugh. And by making them laugh, I really just mean break the pattern. The same way with a Facebook ad, once again, people are scrolling. You're trying to make a hook so good, people stop and go, ooh, I need to watch this video. This is a good ad. What is this? This is good, right? You want to break the pattern to make them watch, okay? Same with cold calling, right? You've just called the person in the middle of a day, in the middle of them, about to finish an assignment or talk to a prospect or whatever the case may be. If you do not break the pattern, they will instantly hang up and go back to what they were doing. It's that simple. Okay, so there's 3 things I want to have in my opener, which is I want to make sure they know who I am, because once again, when someone calls you out the blue, the only 3 things you're wondering is who is this, why are they calling, and what do they want? And so if you can answer those questions for them, you will have such better you will have so many more conversations, and also the quality of your conversation will be so much higher because the prospect won't be lingering with all these unanswered questions because you'll have answered them for them. Okay? And then I guess if you want to throw one other thing here, it would be why. Right? So in your opener, you should have these 3 things, and maybe even 4 if you can. Who are you? Why are you calling? Right? So what are you calling for? Okay? How can you make them laugh and break the pattern? And then what do you want? Okay? So once again, who are you? What's the reason for your call? Make them laugh and break the pattern. And share with them why you're calling, what you want from them. And so the answer to this question is you want a meeting booked. You don't say that to them, so you share with them that you would want to either take time on their calendar or use a bit of psychology here. You want to lend them a bit of time on your calendar to share some information you think would be beneficial with them. Look at this little psychology play there, right? There's some more sauce for you, some hidden gems. Okay, so that's what I look for in an opener when I'm making scripts for my opener, is this. And once again, there is no one best opener. I've seen bad openers, but there's no one best opener. Openers will depend on you and your personality type and how you can deliver the pitch itself. Because once again, it's never about the script, it's about the person delivering the script, right? Delivering the message. So that's the most important thing. And then, lost my train of thought. But outside of that, I blanked. I don't fucking know. Like I said, this isn't scripted. I'm just giving you sauce as it is. Okay, so take that and use that. Okay. Anyways, so script. That's how I make my scripts. Is exactly that. And for offer, right? So that's how I make my openers. For offer, it's very simple. You just want to share your actual offer as uniquely as possible. Right? And so the better your offer is, the better it'll already sound. But you want to make sure that your offer actually stands out and has a unique value proposition. Right, so what makes you different, right, is perhaps one of the big things you could ask yourself is what makes you different. And so quite literally one of the best things I like to do when creating my offer and when writing it down in a script in the cold call is writing down what makes me different than everyone else. And then using that as my biggest selling point when actually pitching my offer to people is what actually makes us different. And the thing is, if nothing makes you different, go out there and find something that makes you different. Okay? Cool. Because that's one of the most important things, is your offer. And making sure that you stand out, that you have a unique value proposition. That people are like, ooh, this is interesting. To make them interested, to make them curious. Okay? That's how that works. Third thing, right? Once you've got the dialer, once you got the script, you need an offer. Which once again, goes hand in hand with the script. Right? The script, the offer goes hand in hand. Okay? But the offer is just the subsection, the actual thing that you will then plug into the script. We just kind of talked about that. You need to make a good offer. Right? And the better offer you will make, the more luck you will have, or not even more luck, the more success you will have. And this is why I want to track and the stuff I track on the cold call is very simple. Okay? I'll just share it with you right here. Okay? So I have a data tracker. It looks like this. If you partner with me, I give it to you. Okay? But it looks like this. Calls made. I want to know how many calls you made so we can track our inputs. Okay? Pickups. How many people picked up the phone? Of the people that picked up the phone, how many people did we get to continue talking to? This is called a pass-through. This lets us know our opener success rate. Out of the people that pass through, right? Those would be the people that we then pitch. Because if they picked up and they keep listening, that we pass through, those would be the people that we then pitch. Out of the people we pitch, I want to know how many are interested. Okay, this will let us know our success rate. So here, this will let us know our pickup rate, this will let us know our opener rate, and this will let us know our pitch rate in terms of how successful is our pitch. And with these 3 things, you can see where you lack, right? So right here, you can tell, okay, what's the problem? Is it my pickups? Is it my pass-through? Or is it my pitch? Very simple. And then you can look at the data find out the weakest KPI, right, the biggest constraint, and then fix that constraint. And then after interested, I just go to meetings booked, right? Once I get my interest. For example, the data would look like this. You made 100 calls, 30 people picked up. Out of 30 people picked up, 20 people passed through. Out of 20 people passed through, aka 20 people that you pitched, 5 were interested. Out of 5 that are interested, you booked, let's just make this easy, you booked 5. Well, guess what? Your pitch ain't the problem. Your pitch is solid. Okay? Or actually, my bad, I take this back. Your conversion is solid. Your pitch sucks. In terms of, you have 20 people, only 5 are interested. Let's make it a little bit better. How can we get 10 interested? Okay? Your pickup rate is good. Your pass-through is good. Your offer here could be a bit better. You could have got more people interested. Right? So that's kind of how I would look at this. Right? And then how you could progress from there on out. Okay, so that's a bit of offer. Data is what we just talked about. Actually, that's what I just talked about is data. You need to collect data. Here's the exact data that I collect and what I look for. And then once you have enough data, 100 calls not enough. I recommend make at least 200 to 300 calls per day minimum. Alrighty, but once you've done a couple of these dials, right, you can get a sense of like, okay, what is my weakest KPI? And once again, go back to the flywheel. Message, dial, data. Right, we're at data now. Okay, what's my weakest KPI? It's my offer. Okay, cool. Let me go fix my messaging and my offer. What's wrong? And I would go review my calls, look back and go, okay, why did this person say no? Why were they not interested? What were the objections they gave me? Right? Oh, this, and this, and this. Oh, this is a common theme. Oh, okay. Boom. I need to fix that in my offer. And then fix it. And then once again, fix your messaging, go back to dialing, go check your data, see if it got better now. It's a constant process of iterating. Okay? It's boring, but it's what works. Okay, very simple. And usually the boring stuff is what works. That's data. The last thing you need to make calls is leads. Okay? Where you get leads is up to you. There's 100 different places. There's literally, you can use Data Miner. I have a video on how you can scrape like 10,000 free leads in like 5 minutes. Go on YouTube channel, you can go watch it. There's a bunch of other good lead scraping software. The point is, this doesn't matter. You just need people to call. And if you have this, you can become a successful cold caller. If you have a dialer, a script, an offer, you collect your data, and you have leads, you can start dialing and become good. Now, to go a bit deeper into how we're actually able to book this, I'm going to share a bit into how we built the team. I have a video. I'll go pull it. I'll show it right now. I have a YouTube video right here. How I book 6-7 meetings a day with my SMA cold call team, which is literally how I built my team. So if you want, this used to be a paid training I used to make people pay for. I've given it away for free, so you can go watch here on exactly how I build my team, right? From how I find my team, how I hire them, how I qualify them, how I train them, how I manage them, everything. Like everything under the sun of how I build a team is in there. It is incredibly good. So much value in there. You can go watch it, okay? With that being said, I'll give you a bit of a high level on kind of how we built this specific team that did this. Very simple. Here's what I did. I wanted callers. And so what I did is I made an offer to people. Once again, everything in business, just make an offer, right? I made an offer to people that I would pay them and mentor them, right, in exchange for their work ethic. That was basically the offer I made. Now, they didn't even know what they were doing. We then told them that they were going to be cold calling, right? With the people that came in, I made them all send me a Loom video, right, to explain why they would be the best fit for this. Out of all the people that sent me a Loom video, I picked a few guys I wanted to interview. Once I found the guys I wanted to interview, I hired the 4. I think it was 4 we initially hired. We ended up firing one guy. No hard feelings. Love the guy, but he just wasn't performing, and it was ruining the team culture. With those 4 guys, we then onboarded them. It was the first time I had ever onboarded someone, so I had no SOPs. So I worked with them, technically one-on-one, for the next 2 weeks, right, to build out every SOP, right? Build out every SOP and also train them on what I had known from previously cold calling. Okay, so I trained them on everything I knew, built the SOPs. After that, we then just managed. And managing, I go way deeper in this in the other video that I just mentioned here, this one. But essentially, managing really comes down to building a culture, or rather said, an environment where people can thrive and want to work. And so my biggest objective as a team leader was I want to build a culture and environment where people can thrive and feel empowered to go out there and work hard and just absolutely crush it. That was my biggest objective. And what that did is that incentivized everyone to work really hard. And those that didn't, we would just fire them. Right? Simple as that. And then you just repeat this process and then just standardize it, and make more SOPs for it as you go. Once again, go watch this video. It goes fully in depth into actually building the cold call team. So I won't repeat myself. You can go watch that. Anyways, I've got a couple more things that I kind of want to cover here with cold calling that make you book more appointments. Fundamentally, like on a super first principles fundamental level, cold calling is just you calling someone. So you talking to someone else. Okay, so we'll say this is other person's else, right? And then making them an offer. This is all it is. Like, this is literally cold calling summarized. Cold call summary. And so if you can understand this, you can rig the game in your favor. Okay? Because if you want to see more results, there's 2 things that you can do that will instantly get you more appointments on your calendar. Instantly. Which is number 1, make more dials. The game is how many people you talk to, right? And so if you talk to more people and pitch them your offer more often, you will book more appointments. It's this simple. Most people I talk to that say they cold call do less than 50 dials per day. If you average it out consistently, less than 50. Imagine you do 50, and you have a 30% pickup rate, which is normal. I don't know the exact math on this, but I believe that this is 15 pickups. 15 people picking up the phone. So you only have the opportunity to pitch 15 people. Okay? Let's say you have a pretty good opener. And just for the sake of numbers, your opener converts at 75%. Okay? If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's around 10 people you talk to, give or take. Right? So that's 10 people you now get to pitch. 10 people you get to make your offer to. So you go make your offer. Depending on how good your offer is, you may get anywhere from 3 to 6 people interested. Now you got to book the meeting. Depending on your conversion rate here, let's say you convert at 50%. We'll take the average here, which is 4. You'd book 2 meetings. And this is good, right? This is assuming you have good numbers. Most people don't even have these metrics I just talked about. So look at what happens if we could just do 200. Imagine we keep all the metrics the same and we just 4x our input. No one can stop you from doing 4x input, right? No one can stop you. Literally nobody. That is in your control entirely. You 4x the input, okay? Not only do you 4x the output now and book 8 appointments, you actually even get more from this. Because guess what? When you call more often, go back to the flywheel. When you call more often, you get more data faster. And when you get more data faster, you can tweak your message quicker. When you tweak your message quicker, you'll become more efficient on the phone. When you become more efficient on the phone, you book more meetings. And so as a result of you doing more calls, you will book more meetings faster than if you did less calls. Okay? The second thing is to make your offer better. Better offer. And the thing is, this doesn't even necessarily mean making the offer in and of itself better, but it means making the delivery of the offer better. And this is one of the things I think most people miss out on. Is they have a good offer, but they miss 2 things, which is trust and delivery. You see, a lot of people I even know are offering free trials, which is amazing. Right? And they still get people saying no. Why? It's because their delivery sucks. The way they deliver the message doesn't sound good. And people do not trust them. That's the other component to this equation that a lot of people miss is, okay, fine, you can make your offer, you deliver it well, but no one trusts you when you say it. And when no one trusts what you say, well, you can think of it just as good as I can. People are way less likely to take you up on your offer. And so the 2 biggest things in making a good offer is 1, making sure you have a good offer. You can't see, but there's a book down here called $100 Million Offers. If you haven't read it, go read it. Most people in this day and age actually have good offers, right? Like, hey, I'll get you 3 jobs in 90 days without you having to do A, B, C, D, F, G, and if we don't deliver, we'll give you your money back. That is a good offer. The problem is this. Either people don't trust you when you say that, or your delivery sucks. The way you say it doesn't sound good. And so these are the 2 things that I would look at first when trying to make a better offer is the way you deliver your message and the trust conveyed behind your message. Now, trust goes into 2 categories. Okay? 2 categories, which is social proof and then conviction. So when you say the message, do you sound like this? Hey, John, we'll get you 30 appointments in the next 90 days. The fuck? Or do you sound very committed, like, yeah, John, so we've actually worked with 6 realtors across Alberta as well, and we've generated them on average 20K in GCI, or actually it's about 19.7K in GCI on average in the first month of working with us. It's our guarantees, and we'll guarantee you minimum of 10K added GCI, but let's be honest, that's the minimum. The standard is 20. Which one sounds better? I know they're a little bit different. You get the point, though. Right? Conviction, the delivery, the way you say the message is really important. Which, if you notice the way I just said it, ties into one more thing, which is social proof. Your social proof matters. It matters. Okay? And so the more social proof that you can have, the more people will trust you. And so if right now you do not have as much social proof as you want, you need to start working for free to get social proof, to get that experience in the door. Okay? It's as simple as that. I can make a whole video about this if you want. Let me know. I will do that to explain how to work for free and why it works. I think I have a video on this. Let's go pull it up. Let's just see. There's a video in here somewhere about working free. It might be this one. Running free trial SMA is the new meta for hitting 10K a month. This video. Okay, if you don't know how to work for free, watch this video. But the point is, I want to make something clear. When you work for free, don't just say to someone, oh man, I'll work for you for free. No, that makes them think you're an idiot that knows nothing. They don't want to work with you. The way you frame working for free is like, hey man, I'll get you desired result in Y time frame for free, and then we can discuss working together. And that way people jump on that offer like, oh, this sounds really good. Okay? Anyways, that's trust. A delivery is very much similar to this. It is how you deliver your message, in the way you say it, in the social proof you add in it, but also in the unique mechanism, right? Which is how you get the results. And so let's say if you run Facebook ads, instead of saying, oh, we get results by running Facebook ads, you say, we get results by plastering billboards in front of people's iPhones, by hijacking their whatever. I don't know. I'm just making something up off the fly. But the point is, you want to make sure that your vehicle for getting results, right, the mechanism you use is unique. And if it isn't unique, make it sound unique. Because guess what? People would rather buy something new than something better. And we can even look at this when it comes to diets, right? There's so many diets out there, like the carnivore diet, the vegetarian diet, the keto diet. I'm sure there's like a bunch of other stupid diets out there. Fundamentally, if you want to lose weight, just eat less calories than you expend in a day. It's as simple as that. But people didn't want that. They didn't want a better version of that. They wanted something new. Why? Because they're more likely to think it works, right? And so people come up with, oh, the ketogenic and this and that. People are like, oh, this sounds interesting. And so they jump on the bandwagon. Okay, because it's new. And so once again, even if your thing isn't actually new, once again, ketogenic diet, fundamentally, it's still eating less than you, it's eating less calories than you expend in a day. It's fundamentally the same thing. It's just a little twist of like, oh, well, we just don't eat carbs, right? And so you could be running Facebook ads, but instead of using a landing page, you use a lead form, or maybe you use a VSL, or maybe you use just a call center, right? Whatever the case is, whatever your unique mechanism is, that's the thing you want to really market. Okay, so fundamentally, at the end of the day, most running SMMAs run Facebook ads at the goal level, right? And so what's your unique thing? Right? What's the thing that you do different versus all the competition? Right? And this could be a whole video talking about unique mechanisms, but what do you do differently? Right? Is it the fact that you run a VSL funnel? Right? Is it the fact that you have a call center? Is it the fact that you have use lead forms? Is it the fact that you have a 10-year nurturing sequence? Right? Is it the fact that you also edit videos for them so you help them increase their brand? What's the unique mechanism? And then how can you package that in a way that sounds really, really sexy and good? Then how can you deliver that? Okay? That's what I talk about when I mean delivery. Is the way you mention your offer. Right? Because if you just say to someone, hey, I'll guarantee you 10 appointments with Facebook ads, doesn't sound good. But if you say to someone, hey man, we'll guarantee you 10 appointments by coming in and building your own in-house call center team that will train for you and run for you, right? But that you have full control over, that sounds a lot better. Could be the same thing, just sounds better that way. Okay, so once again, that's the unique mechanism, the delivery component. All right? Trying to think, what else is missing? What have I not mentioned I think is important for you to know when it comes to cold calling to book appointments like this? What's important? I think there's some things I can mention, but I think we'll be better off if you just implement this, okay? But at the end of the day, remember this, the cold calling flywheel. Cold calling comes down to 3 things: your message, dialing, and data, right? You need to create a message. You need to make enough dials so you can collect data to see what you need to tweak about the message. And you need to tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a really good, accurate representation of this. Look at my calendar way back here. Look at this. We had no calls on the calendar. Literally no calls. And as you can see, the calls started picking up and picking up and picking up and picking up and picking up. Why? Because we kept tweaking and iterating the message. This is literally live in-action proof of this cold call flywheel working. Is this. We kept collecting data and daily tweaking, making new scripts, trying new offers, trying new lead lists, right? Like trying new openers, trying new things, testing things until we found what worked. And guess what happened when we found what worked? Boom. Appointments on the calendar, right? And so right away, like off the bat, we weren't doing too hot, as you can see, right? But as you tweak and iterate, you pick it up and look what happens. Okay? So this is like, this is proof. Live, in-action proof that this stuff works. And this is exactly how the cold call flywheel works. Right? Is it takes a bit of time for this to pick up and pick up and pick up. And then you get the compounding effect and look, you just start booking and booking and booking. Okay? So, that is what I have. That is how my SMA books 30 meetings per week. Okay? Cold calling. With proof. With a shit ton of proof. Okay? Not even just my proof. Other proof from other people here as well. Okay? Yegi went from 0 to 12K a month in 13 days after getting scammed by 3 mentors doing this. Okay, so if you want to be like these people and you want to partner with me to have me come into your business with you and help you become the best cold caller, or even help you build, hire, find, train, and manage your cold call team, you want to partner with me, click link below. You can hop on a call with me. There's no closers, okay? And we can see if this can be a good fit for you and see if we can partner up to get you the same results as some of these guys, which have been absolutely insane. Okay, absolutely insane. So that is that. I hope that you got some value from the 36 minutes you spent with me here today and understand a bit more about cold calling, how it works, and how you can use it to book yourself a ton of appointments, because it's truly incredible once you can just unlock that thing. So have at it. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. Go watch those other YouTube videos. Peace.